episode with my guys. Welcome back to the Playing Through Pod. I got Prince. I got Sam, better known as Woods and John Davies. We'll get into more of that later. Thank you guys for coming by.
Thanks for having us. This is great.
I'm excited. We've been talking about this for a while.
Yeah.
We've been fortunate enough to play on the course a couple times, or at least once. We need to get out a couple more times.
Oh, yeah.
But today is kind of about just sharing your guys' story. We'll kind of just walk through that journey, what that looked like. But I just appreciate you guys being willing to come on. I know that we've linked up for a few different events. It's been awesome to get to know you guys. I love what you guys are doing. I don't want to spoil anything too soon here yet, but I respect it. I love it. I'm not into walking on the golf course, so I need to get better at that. But yeah, let's get into it. Why don't you guys just give me a little introduction about yourself, and then we'll go from there.
Well, my name is Prince, aka Woods. I have had a bunch of stuff go on in my life, like brain stuff. Died a couple times. You were there for one of them, but we're still here. We're still breathing. Love the game of golf.
Yeah, I'm Sam, a.k.a. John Davies. I had to think of a nickname that would keep up with Woods, and it was ultimately John Daly and Laura Davies' love child, but second place is fine. It's fine.
I love that.
But yeah, same deal. I've had brain surgery as well. Didn't have a heart attack like this guy, so he's got a point on me there too. But yeah, both of us just really love golf. Both have had a really traumatic thing happen in our life, and we're trying to take that and make it a positive instead of a huge negative like it could have been. So,
well, in the game of life, lower points is the way to go, right? Just like golf. So, Prince, why don't you tell me a little bit about kind of your story initially? Because I believe the way I remember it, that's how you guys met was through your story, right?
Well, it was actually through his story because I saw him on like the local Chico paper, and I was super excited to read about it. Like, this is amazing. I was a little butthurt because I was like, this happened to me too. Like, the love, but and then I immediately reached out to him on LinkedIn, and I was like, hey, ironically, I am you. Like, it's like you and me are the exact same person. So, and it really turned out to be that connection led to us playing our first round of golf together, which was at Wolfram?
Toyabe, maybe?
Yeah, Toyabe. And then the friendship happened, and then we just kept on playing golf together. Played in Chico, played in Tahoe, we played Yocha, we played just so many other different places, and it's just the beginning.
So what was your diagnosis?
So mine was a craniopharyngioma. So it's basically a tumor that grows on your pituitary, and it affects like your hormones and your glands, like how you can process foods, how your body just processes everything from, testosterone, all like my height, my weight. Like, for all of you who don't know, I mean, yes, I was fat because I didn't eat the greatest, but like there was more behind it. So take note.
And so when you were diagnosed with this, what was the process going forward?
Well, it was honestly a lot of ifs and maybes, just because like they weren't sure how they were going to operate, if they were going to open my head up or if they were going to go through the nose. Inevitably, they ended up going through the nose, and they pulled out what was a lot more than what the scan showed. Like, it was initially about a quarter size, but if it was a quarter size, but it ended up being like a quarter of a log of coins. So it was much bigger. And the fact that like I can still see today is crazy because it was resting on my optic nerve. So all of it was just surrounding it. And then they took out, they said 99% of it. In the doctor's language to me, I'm just like, hey, I'll take it.
Yeah.
So,
and for those of us that aren't doctors, non-cancerous,
no, because I'm cancer free now, but like I did have to go through radiation and get all the rest of it taken out of my body through radiation. But yeah, it was cancerous, but not to where I can't do anything different now.
And how old were you when that happened?
About Want to say I was like 17, like at least a year and a half out of high school. Yeah.
Okay. And were you at Chico State at the time?
No, so I went the CC route and then I went to Chico.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sam, how about you?
Yeah, so mine was kind of more abrupt. I was perfectly healthy. Well, I was always a little chubby.
We all fit there.
Yeah, no, 100%. I had a dad bod at 12, so I was just rocking it. But yeah, I was going to same thing, Butte College, like CC route, and I drove to class. I had a winter class. It was art history, the banger.
Nothing important.
Yeah, really, it was just to get the credits kind of thing. But I pulled into the parking lot and immediately went into a seizure. That I just never had seizures, never had anything. So I had somebody pulling the strings for me that day because it was like a stopped in my parking spot, bang, just like convulsing, like eyes rolling back, chewing my tongue off, doing all that. And I think it was a security guard basically just was like, yo, this guy's either rocking out or he's got to go to the hospital right now. And yeah, they got me to Enlo's, Chico's hospital, and it was kind of they did the scan and they were like, get this guy out of here, take him to UC Davis. We don't have the capability for any of this stuff. And life led me to UC Davis. They had me in the neuro ward for a few days, threw antibiotics at it. It was basically a cyst of some kind. It was like a little bubble, like, you know, when you get a sunburn, like a bubble kind of thing. That, like, right on my central, like the, what is it called?
Crown.
Central crown, something like that. It pushed my brain stem enough to trigger that seizure. So it was just like a really lucky kind of thing, but also it was horrible. And threw antibiotics at it, kind of did whatever they could that made it grow. So they woke me up about 2 days after I was there, rolled me into the like emergency room, I guess you'd call it. And yeah, it was like 6 a.m. They're like, all right, you're going in. I'm like, for what? They're like, they just like didn't really say anything. I was like, do you tell my parents? They were like, yeah, they're on the way, but you're going in. So I'm like, all right, this could be it. You never really know. It's one of those, like, even coming out of it, I remember I was like kind of like recovering from it, waking up. I just remember like hearing perpetually just like, I don't know what he's going to do when he wakes up. He might just be drooling. I might not talk, might not move, but we'll see what happens. And it was kind of just like I kept hearing that. I'm like, fuck you. I'm getting up.
Yeah. What's that feeling? I mean, I've never had to experience anything that like that, thank God. But what's that feeling like? Because you were young as well, right?
Yeah, it was like 22.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
And so, you know, this happens. Obviously, you can't predict the seizure coming on.
Right.
This all happens pretty quickly. Within a couple of days, now you're going into surgery. You know, is anything going through your head at that time? I mean, I know you're like, you can kind of hear what's going on, but
Yeah, it's one of those. It was like I would catch little whispers of here and there, but it was mainly I was just kind of out, and they'd like I'd see everybody flock when my eyes would open, kind of thing, because they're just like, oh shit, he's up, and then really the big thing was just like the unsureness of everything. They were kind of just like, yeah, I mean, he might be normal, he might just never do anything again, kind of thing. So it's always just obviously haphazardly hearing it, kind of thing. It just motivated me a little bit. Just be like, I'm coming out of this. I'm doing everything I can, and I'm gonna be better for it, kind of thing. So,
what was the recovery process like for you guys?
for me, it was like it's kind of like a month-long stint around the hospital, and kind of I had a PICC line that had antibiotics like flowing through it, kind of thing, and catheter. Truthfully, dog, the catheter being taken out was worse than the seizure.
I can cold-heartedly.
Yeah, it's one.
They don't put you under for.
Yeah, they just say this thing's coming out.
Just a little grip and rip, huh?
Yeah, dude, it's just that. Honestly, of the whole hospital stay, the catheter was what stuck out the most. It was brutal. So if you don't need a catheter, get one.
They got to figure out another way.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just it. Oh, God, I'm getting those chills just
Give me
thinking
some
about it.
laughing gas or something. Something I don't feel.
Yeah, just something to hide the pain.
It's like, you ever seen a 6-hook like fishing hook? Yeah, that's what that.
Just
Ugh.
Yeah. Right. See, now you know.
So, so I mean, both of these things kind of came on quickly for you guys.
Yeah.
You're young, right? Life's kind of just beginning for you. You're out of high school. What were some of the things like? Did you guys have life plans? Like, what were you going to school to kind of take care of at this time?
Well, like for me, it was just the fact that like I was trying to get myself in a better place in like terms of like my weight. That was the one that was really kind of holding me back, I guess, just like mentally. But like when I went to see the doctor, it's like I'm doing all the right things, like, dieting, going to the gym, doing everything I can, and yet I gained 20 pounds this morning. Like, what am I doing wrong? And then that's when they kind of figured out everything for me and like the tests and like, hey, you've got some other stuff, right? And it's not something I can really feel comfortable talking to you about. Yes, you are an adult and things like that, but I'd rather have someone here with you because it's gonna be a lot to process.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, I wanted to go to school for business and actually do something, right? And it's like I'm not saying I'm not doing anything now, but it's like I wanted that progression of life without there being any problems. So
Right.
So on that topic, like, I hope you guys know, like, you are doing something incredible. I know you guys are just getting started, but in the times that we're living in right now, it's kind of like, okay, what's a job? Like, what are we living for? Realistically, if we can just get our finances taken care of, then it's kind of like what's after that step, right? And so for me, with my retirement and everything going on right now, it's like I kind of get a second chance to kind of do this over again.
Mhm.
I'll be 40 this year, and so for me, it's like I've always had a career serving people, and I've helped people, but it's always been from like a matter of fact point of view, like, all right, hey, I'm helping you right now. Good luck tomorrow. Like
Mhm.
I'm not going to sit here and babysit you. Um, but now my perspective is like, how do we reach as many people as possible? How do we actually leave this world a better place? Right. And it doesn't have to be in like some pussy way, like we're not trying to be soft. We're not trying to, just do stuff for the credibility. I know I do stuff with athletes, right? Like we're not here for the autographs. Like we're here to use their stories, right, and connect with them to help connect everybody else, especially men. And so, with the Drain Bamage, right? Like, where did that name come from? And maybe share kind of what you guys have started together.
Yeah. Yeah, so I can kind of speak to the beginning of it. So it was when when we first kind of met, he had like connections at Edgewood and stuff. So I was like, oh, we'll take videos while we're there because having videos of that course is always cool. Then I was like, I feel like we could do this more kind of thing. And I think we had Drain Bamage kind of locked, and we kept seeing like Fat Perez and guys with like spoof nicknames kind of popping off. So we were like, what do we need to like the X factor on this thing? And it was kind of I think we were at a bar in Midtown,
yeah.
and
Right.
we were like kicking around ideas for names, and it was just like we were thinking about Tiger Woods at the time, and it was just kept looking and wider woods, wider woods, wider. Holy shit!
I was big on that. Yeah, it's fair. It's a fair pull.
Yeah, no, it was one of those just like a bomb went off. It was like, oh, dude, that's got to be big. And then we posted a few videos, and then there's been a couple that we've posted that got in like 3-4 million range kind of thing. So we were like, okay, there's something here kind of thing. So it's just like a matter of keeping it going, because it is a grind. Like you can make fun of social media all you want. It's like, oh, it's just people goofing off. It's like, no, it's a grind, dude.
It's hard.
There's a lot you got to do, and it's just like our setup right now is pretty rinky dink for sure, but I mean, it gets out to enough people kind of thing. So we're just
Well, I know you guys got a badass drone.
we got a
So-
badass drone. We're still trying to figure it out.
Oh, I got you.
I got my brother, like, I'm trying to get him to be the drone guy kind of thing. He's
Yeah.
like, oh, we just got to, because he's just scared it's like licensed under different name kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, we're trying to get the setup going for sure.
What's your purpose with it though? With the account and what you guys are doing?
Yeah, I would say the big, like, overarching, like, the thing we're trying to say, it's like, hey, you can have horrible things happen to you and you can come back and you can be better than you were before. Because it's like I was kind of a baseball burnout. Like I
Same.
played for junior college for like a year or two and just got sick of it kind of thing. So I was like, I was working at a golf course, or 2 courses. I was like part-time fitting at Dick's while I was in college, and I graduated, and it was like during COVID, so that was all whack too. But graduated, and then I'm like, I just want to do golf. Like, so I had a couple of like bad corporate sales jobs that I hated with a passion, and then
I got him one of those jobs too. It's crazy.
yeah, for real, for real. But yeah, then I fell ass backwards into Hagen Oaks, and now we're here. Now we're doing this all the time, playing golf, walking for weight loss with Wider Woods.
Let's talk about that. So
Yeah.
that's kind of been some of the content you guys have been putting out lately. What's going on with that?
Yeah, so it's one of those that. So I went to the PGA show this year, and I basically was on the floor just pitching. Wider Woods is the next big name in golf, and you guys should jump on it sooner rather than later. And a lot of people were kind of intrigued, but they're like, they'd see the follower count, they're like, like 2,000, like that's like nothing kind of thing. But Sunday Bag actually was one of those that I pitched, and they were like, all right, let us know. They sent us some bags, so it's Sunday Golf Co. Shout out.
Big shout out.
Yeah. They sent us some bags, and they were like, yeah, just do whatever you want with it kind of thing. And I was like, oh, we're kind of big guys, so I mean, we could just start walking the course and then throw on a goofy little W4 WWW thing.
Yeah.
And
We
it's
got our little
been
tagline.
it's been cool. Yeah, like they'll collaborate on posts with us and here and there, and it's kind of a cool little. Well, one, because like it's one of those like long plays, like you can't really get a ton out of 1 or 2 videos, so we're just going week by week, seeing how much weight we lose, kind of thing as we're going. You're down like
175.
175. I'm down like 110.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's like we're just trying to take a bunch of theoretically really negative timelines, like, oh, brain surgery, that sucks. Oh, and while we were kind of starting Drain Bamage, he had a heart attack as well. So it was kind of a like, oh, we almost lost our star kind of thing. So that was another like,
I'm dead twice.
yeah, he's 2 for 2 right now. He's made it back both times. So.
Most people don't know that. You know,
So-
I'm a real killer.
So I don't want to pause on the Sunday stuff because I
Yeah.
think that's cool, but I think with the heart attack, like when did that happen? And then like this is all motivation for going forward. Like this is what's building that brand for you guys, right?
Mhm.
And obviously you guys are friends, but it's also deepening that relationship. What take us through that heart attack?
Well, so I mean, like it was one of those things. I was going in for a surgery, and just things didn't go right. From what in my perspective, right, the jump. But like, I can only go off of what I'm told by a doctor. So it's just like, okay, like, hey, he's good to go. And then from that moment of me being put under anesthesia, like me actually getting to the table, like, hey, his heart rate is 0. Like there is nothing that we need to wake him up. We can't even go through with. They can't even start the surgery. Like the really crappy part about it is like there was no cutting involved. I just laid flat from literally one entrance of the door to the next, and they were like, bummer, and then, but I was out of commission for 20 minutes. So legally I was dead. And then they moved me over. I went back into ICU. I was there for about 3 or 4 days. I started waking up, but I wasn't functioning properly. Like I couldn't speak. I couldn't really do anything. Like he can attest, like him, his brother, his parents were there. Like my parents were there, and it's just like I was a vegetable for what seemed to be like a couple days, and then a couple days turned into a couple weeks, and then they moved me to a rehab facility. And when I tell you, there's nothing worse than being, just being a young person in a rehab facility and everyone around you is immobile, right?
Right.
It's just like I felt bad because like, hey, you can walk around. I was like, yeah, like they didn't even do anything to me. It's like they didn't do the right things, but like I didn't get cut. I didn't like have any like missing limbs. I wasn't old, but like it was just the fact that like I survived the situation I felt like I shouldn't even have been in. So, and then, he came and visited me when I was there, and it's just like we, had our first like little podcast, and like, we did all that from like my hospital room, and it's, we've gone through my little situations, because it's like obviously like I'm 0 for 2, he's 0 for 1. but it's like we're trying to make the best out of each bad hand we're dealt. So
Well, realistically, you're 1 for 1 and
Oh,
you're 2
yeah.
for 2,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because I mean,
yeah,
that's fair.
you've won,
Right.
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's not in my opinion, and it's a humble opinion, but it would be that the offer would be if you lost that battle, right?
Right.
And I think that, this kind of takes me to where I want to go with this is most people could look at that situation and be like, well, fuck it. You know what? Like, God hates me or whatever it is,
Right.
like what am I supposed to do? And just kind of go down the depression route and stuff like that. Which I'm sure you guys had a ton of bouts with that and maybe still do.
Yeah.
But mentally, what is it like going through that? And then where are you guys at now?
Yeah, it's it's a never-ending battle for sure. I mean, when you have an extra hole in your head, you're kind of like, I got fucked. It's just like at the end of the day, there's days where I just sit around and I'm like, why'd this happen to me? It's just like it's such a random, like, I mean, the rarity, the one that threw me for a loop was like the thing that I had was like a 1 out of 2 million people get it kind of thing. So I was just like, there's shit odds to get that one.
Yeah.
I'm just like, so I'll sit back and I'm like, it's great that I got through it, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, to this day, like I still have headaches that are the size of 5 normal people's kind of thing. So it's like 6 Advils will get it to go away kind of thing, but it's a rarity to have like one that doesn't last more than a few hours kind of thing. So it's a real, like, it's a burden that I bear all the times kind of thing. So it's definitely, depression comes, I would say headaches are just a physical attribute of depression kind of thing. So it's just like anytime I get a headache, I'm just deflated, just kind of beat down. And it's like, that being said, when you're kind of talking about golf being therapy, and at the end of the day, that's truly why I play a lot. Because it's just like it makes you think about something other than what you're going through.
Yeah. Especially if you hit a bad shot.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm looking at a lot of bunkers right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm a victim to those bad shots, and so is everyone who's seen them. But like, yeah, I mean, even though like have had a bunch of bad hands dealt, it's we still love what we do, and like we're just trying to better ourselves. At the end of the day, like yes, Drain Bamage is fun, and we love to do it. We love to create the content, but it is therapy because it's something that we can do without like. I mean, yes, there's gonna be judgment because when you duck hook one into a group of people, there's really nothing you can do about that.
Especially when the cameras are out.
Right, yeah, right. Like
Brings added pressure.
Right, but it's like when you call your shot and you don't call your shot, you know what I'm saying? You're like, well, I tried.
Yeah. What does strength look like to you guys right now as far as before surgery and after surgery? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was like mental strength, I was weak. Physical strength, I was in much better shape before my surgeries and stuff like that. But it's like my mental strength then was kind of just go with the flow, kind of feel it out, do whatever. Like I'm here for. I mean, not to be weird, but I'm here for a good time, not a long time kind of thing. But it's like I wanted to make it like every moment count, and then to be told, by a doctor is like, hey. Yeah, the reason behind all of like your size, why you can't lose weight, this, that, and the other, right? Is because you have a tumor. It's not the fact that like, yeah, you eat a McDouble, once or twice a week like everybody else does, but like you just don't process anything. So, but now it's like my physical strength. I'm not the strongest guy in the world, but I mean, I picked you up yesterday.
Yeah, it was
for
wild.
a while. Like I held him up.
We don't get into those things on this show.
I was just like, I was like, yeah, you're not like you've lost some weight. I can get you going, and like,
Yeah, it kind of threw me around, dude. It was just like kind of twirled me or
yeah,
something.
I was just like, I still got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I go to the gym every now and again, but like, yeah, it's not like I used to. That's for sure.
What has walking the course done for you guys?
Lowered my cholesterol.
Yeah, a little bit. No, it makes you just really actually exercise because golf, you can definitely, if you're putting the cart up right by the green, right by your ball, things like that, like it can definitely lose the athletic aspect of the game. And like walking, it's like, I mean, the pros do it, and it's just like if you keep doing that, weight just sheds off. It's like whether it's hot or cold, you're moving more. I mean, I've seen videos of like you seen like Dustin Johnson like walking the course. That guy is like a walking gazelle, dude.
Right.
Just like he walks fast, and it's just
Bryson.
Bryson too. Yeah, I mean, it's just like if you can get into that mode of walking, like it makes you sharper on the course too a lot of the time. Like I've noticed, like when I'm having to think about my bad shot on the way to it, I'm like, maybe make the next one better or something.
Like there's always a plan, like plan B, because
Yeah.
it's like when we walk, it's like my ultimate goal is because his brother's skinny, and like his brother is what I want to be, you know. But like he just like his normal pace is just so quick. Like every time we're off a tee box, like my goal is to like stay or match his pace. Like, and it's just. And I mean, hey, there've been a couple holes where I'm like, hey, I got to mine first. And mine, I didn't hit it the farthest, but I still got to it first, you know? So it's like, you know, hey, it's a win. But yeah, that's really what it is for me. It's just like, yeah, I've lost a lot of weight doing it, but like, I know it's like our actual habits, like at home, and like, we don't do, you know, like we're not big drinkers. We're not, we don't just eat a bunch of food all the time. Like there aren't boxes of like takeout and stuff at our house. It's like, I mean, for the three of us, like 3 guys living together, right? You just expect like what a frat house would look like. Like our house is clean. Like we actually take the time to do all the things that we need to do to like be successful, right? And not, you know, just kind of waste it away. Like don't get us wrong. You'll see a Taco Bell back there, but like it.
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah,
You know,
Right.
who doesn't love a little Taco Bell?
Right.
When you're walking the course, or even just playing, I know I just say walking because it's what you guys are about right now. What are you thinking about on the course? Like, what is therapeutic to you about golf?
It's really just taking in your surroundings a lot more and just kind of thinking like a lot of people put a lot of time into keeping this grass really clean, and a lot of people spend time raking these bunkers every morning, and it makes you just think about like why everything's there instead of just like ripping by in a golf cart kind of thing. So it's just like every little aspect. It's like it makes me take care of the course more too. It's kind of a weird like in a cart a lot of the time you'll just keep going. You won't feel the sand in your divot kind of thing. It's like, oh, if I make a divot, I'll just go grab it, walk back, kind of put it there. Just makes you respect the game a little bit more. I think a lot of time golf carts can just take away a lot of the aspects of golf that are meant to be seen more while you're walking and looking at it kind of thing.
I mean, for me, it's just the fact that like it's like I'm unplugging from everything.
Mhm.
Like, you know, like I try so hard to like mute my phone every time I play golf. Somehow, some way, it just constantly. But it's the sole fact that like I'm away from everything. Like I'm just, even if I play by myself, it's just like we're having a good time. Like there's nothing that really can disturb this piece, and that's why I love it.
Yeah.
We try to make it fun, try to make it competitive still, but it's like he's much better at golf than I am. But like he's been playing golf longer than I am. But I want to get to his level. I want to get to his brother's level, and I want to get to that point to where it's like I'm a menace to be. You know, like my short game's gotten a lot better. Like the last time you saw me, garbage. You know what I'm saying? Like I can hit a ball far sometimes, but like, can I count on it? No.
Well, and I think too, like golf is the ultimate equalizer. That's why a lot of athletes play it.
Mhm.
Because you're playing against yourself, right? You go get yourself a gin, right? And it's like, okay, that's your handicap. Like you now compete to lower that handicap. You don't have to play, you know, up to Sam's par, right? You can pop some strokes, you can do whatever. But you know, I just played in our member guest tournament out here, and you know, I was the highest handicap in every single round I played in. And I'm like, dang, man, like I'm playing against +3s
Jeez.
out here. I'm like, what in the world? But you know, but when you lose yourself in comparison like that, you forget why you're playing the game of golf.
Right.
Right. And so I like the competitive nature about it. But when you talk about, you know, just appreciating the course and the time and care that goes into it, reminds me of grass clippings,
Mhm.
right? When we went out there in Arizona, we linked up with Sarah out there, and she was giving us the rundown of like what it takes to actually care for greens and the course and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I never really thought about how hard people work on this, right? And the greenskeepers are kind of like the unsung heroes of the golf game,
Yeah.
you know? But yeah, I think I love what you guys are doing with that. I think that the walking side of it. The next round I play with you guys, I will walk.
If
Okay.
not this course, then flat ground, brother. Flat
This is
ground.
pretty flat course. I mean,
no elevation, flat ground. You know what I'm saying?
okay, I'll come play Hagen then.
There we go.
We'll come walk.
There we go.
We'll come walk Hagen. We'll ride here. I'm game for that. But I think it's awesome what you guys are doing, because I think mentally, like, I want to get in better shape. With kids and everything else, like, I just take the card out and try and get in as many holes as I possibly can, as quick as I can.
Mhm.
But when I slow the game down and actually go out there to work on my mental side and, just kind of escape reality,
Right.
I think that's probably the best way to go, is to strap on some good True Link shoes,
Mhm.
and get out there and enjoy the walk, like they say. And so that's a shameless plug for the guys that hook us up right there.
I was gonna say
pretty
True
smooth.
Links is pretty nice.
They are.
We got like clothes, we got bag. We ain't got a shoe sponsor yet, so we're trying to make that work.
Let me make a phone call and see what
Shit.
see what we can get going. And so I appreciate that. Like, I appreciate your perspective on the game and kind of the way you guys are approaching it. I want to go back for a second and just ask, what is the lowest point you guys have been at mentally?
Do you want to go first?
How deep is yours?
Trying to think.
Like my mental lows, like, in my honest opinion, are, I mean, I've contemplated like ending life, right? Because I'm not saying like life is easy for anybody, but like, when you grow up in a place where it's like, oh, like, I'm literally the only person of color, and like, on top of it, right, I have braces, glasses, and I'm fat. You see what I'm saying? Like, buddy, like, that's a losing.
Buddy.
That's a losing battle from start to finish. But it was like, like, I've definitely had my like thoughts of just like, it'd be better for everyone if I just wasn't here, right? But like, I've gone as deep as that rabbit hole. Like, fortunately, like, I'm still a strong enough individual to not have gone through with it. But like, it's the fact that, like, I know I have my support system, right? Like, my mom and my dad are the most important people in my life. Like, anything happens to them, like, he can attest. Like, anything, phone call, I need to be somewhere, no questions asked, I'm there. Like anybody, like, if for him, for my parents, for his family, and like, I have those people in my life, right, that like, drop of a hat, I'm there. Like, no questions asked. Like, just recently, I have a family friend who's going through some stuff, and they were in the Bay, and they called, and then I was gone. Like, I just said, hey, I'm gonna be back. Don't know when, but I'm gone. Like, and that's the kind of person I am. And when it comes to that, but I've definitely had those times when, like, I've been so low where, like, I need that person.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'd say there's one, but it's one of those. I think because I came out of brain surgery much different than I started. It was one of those, like, I was never really ever that depressed. Like, never really had a whole lot going on in my head. But after that, it was just I kind of alluded to it earlier. It's like, why me? Why me? Like, why that? Why then? And then luckily, like, I was able to kind of pull through, and because mine happened in the middle, like my college journey and all that. So I was kind of like, all right, might be a 6 year, might be a 7th year, might be 8th year. I think I got done in about 6, but like, I was able to get through college, able to do all that. And then I would say I was at my lowest when I had my first job out of school, and I was basically a corporate shill. I was just like stomping the pavement, selling, I'm not going to say the company, but selling whatever. And I was on a sales call, and I was just like, dude, I don't want to do this anymore. So I faked an injury and basically was like, I got to go home. And they found out that I faked it, and they're like, you're fired. And I was like, sweet. Honestly, kind of a dub, but it was definitely like one of those, like, I sold that injury. Like, I took a pocket knife and hit my head enough to where it would make a mark, kind of thing. And they were like, yeah, I don't think you actually did that. And I was like, all right, maybe you're right. Shit, I'm out.
Same.
But yeah, no, it's definitely ins and outs of depression. It comes with territory up there. I mean, it's one of those, like, I hear that when I was in there, a lot of the stats were like, keep an eye on him because he might lose it. It's like we're all UC Davis is very. Oh, UC Davis saved my life for sure. So it's one of those like they knew as much as they could, but they were also like, keep your eyes open. You might be a wild card now.
Yeah.
And I am. On the golf course.
So would you guys say that your journey through what you've been through, and then with the game of golf accompanying that, would you say golf helps?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Golf's like one of the main reasons here, I would say. Well, I mean, it's my job. I'm a club fitter. If you need a fitting, Hagen Oaks, ask for Sam, not John Davies, but
It's like someone might know who he's talking about.
I was gonna say if you ask for John Davies, it might even be funnier. So 916-808-2526.
Show, just throw the plug out there.
Yeah, I just had to.
You're gonna end up talking to me. I'll set you up. But, I mean, like, still, like golf though, it's definitely made some strides for us. And it's one of those things where you can play the game of golf for competition, right? It's still a game, but like it's one of those things where you can just take in the sights, you see it, like. I mean, hey, I'm all for seeing the whole course, shanking balls left and right, but I mean, at least you're out there. You know, like 4 hours maybe turned into 6 hours, depending on if there's 4 groups in front of you, but a couple of Gatorades and call it a day.
Yeah, I love that. And I think it's, like I said, for me, it's when I got back into the game of golf a few years ago, because I hung up the clubs for almost 5 years. And I told my wife, I'm like, I'm playing golf. Like, it's just, that's the only thing I know that can answer what I need right now. Before, it was literally when I was playing baseball, and you guys know, like, I would get to the field super early when they were still cutting the grass, and I would just sit in the dugout and just watch and smell and take in like that fresh water on the dirt smell. Like those are the things that, and that's what golf does for me too. Like you come out here first thing in the morning, man, the sprinklers are on, and you're watching the guys, raking the bunker. It's like that little thing in people's office that they have, little,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
I got one of those. I had one of those. Yeah.
But it's everything about the game of golf to me is relaxing, even when it sucks. Like when I suck, my back has been screwed up, and I'm like, okay, I can't play the type of golf I want to play right now, but I just go putt,
Right.
or just go sit and watch somebody else play, getting the family out there, getting them going. And so my goal through what we're doing, and I know yours is too, is to get more people involved in the game of golf. I think COVID, as much as that sucked, like it was just so good for the game of golf, because now you already mentioned it, but like Bob Does Sports, right? Good, all these YouTube, Bryson, for crying out loud,
Right.
like all these YouTube golf channels. And we were thinking about starting this podcast. I'm like, I want that. I don't care how many viewers we get, but I want to have some type of depth to what we're doing, not just comedy stuff, right? There's plenty of comedy when I'm playing, for sure. Just watching me swing. But I think outside of that, I wanted to be able to create something where guys could watch it and take something away and be like, okay, like, and then we bring guys out on the course, right? So one of the things I wanted to let you guys know, I know I think I shared it with you, but in September 22nd, we're going to have our first Playing Through Invitational, and it's going to be hosted at Black Desert.
Nice.
So we're playing Sand Hollow, Coral Canyon, and Black Desert.
Nice.
And so we'll talk a little bit more about that later, but
Said what day?
what's that?
What day?
It's going to be, we're playing the 23rd, 24th, 25th.
I'll be back in the country.
There you go. So, and we'll be putting that info out on our website and on Instagram, but we'd definitely love to have you guys there if you can make it. But those are the things that we want to do. We want to create events like that to bring athletes and guys together, and creators, but with the focus of mental health, right? And so your story, when we ended up meeting through Instagram, right? And so that's like our whole purpose right there, like meeting random people on social media, that get behind our cause. Like for me, we've won. It could stop right now, which I don't want it to, but it's like we're getting the message out there for men's mental health, and I want people to realize that mental health isn't just suicide, depression. It's everything, right? It's how we process life and what we're going through, and and then it's what you do to take care of that, right? And so with everything that you guys have been through, for somebody who is going through it right now and just doesn't really know what to do next, what's your advice for them?
Go ahead.
No, you're good. I mean, if you're going through it, just know you could be at the lowest of lows, and if you just get up and you do what you got to do, just power through. It's a easier said than done thing for sure, but having obstacles makes your life cooler. It's definitely having a flat, easygoing life is boring. So I mean, just have struggles and power through them. And like Prince said, we're here for a good time, not a long time. I'm assuming that's kind of why I've gotten feedback that like, oh, it seems like you're trying to rush this. I'm like, yeah, because we might be gone in like 10 years. You never know. So it's like I'm trying to make this big while I can, because if we're gone, then it's just over. So
I mean, for me, it's just finding a person, like whether it's a family member or your closest friends, like finding that person that you can actually have these conversations with, because I'm victim of it. I mean, he knows, like I hold everything. Yeah, I can talk about it, but like I just hold it in because it works for me. And it's like, like, yeah, it's my problem, not everybody else's. But like, if you can find that support system and someone to talk to, and like, like, hey, what's going on in your life that you need someone to talk to? That's the biggest thing, because not everyone can handle everything that they're being held in, and it's like, that's what eats people alive. And it's just like, I mean, hey, some people are better at it. I mean, like, everyone always told me, I was like, hey, you talk too much, you're too loud, do this. And then when you don't talk, that's when the problems come out. So.
Right. One, I think too, it's like finding that you don't have to have a bunch of people. It's one person, right? Or two, whatever it is. But, my encouragement to you guys is, and I know you guys have each other, and you got me as well, whenever you need that. But it's, encouraging guys to live out what they're talking about. And then, what's on the inside of them as well is like, hey, sometimes it's the guy with the biggest smile that's struggling the most,
Right.
and so you guys actually worked with a buddy of mine, right? Whose dad is 90% of the reason why I started this podcast. And it's stuff like that. When those things happen, it's like, damn, I heard it said the other day, like I'd rather hear from you than about you, and so for me, it's suicide's been so big in my life, but guys that go through stuff like you've been through, and then being like, well, hey, the world would be better off with just me not being a hassle right now. I know that feeling. I've been there multiple times, and so I get that. But it's I want to encourage you guys to use your platform as well, and then where you guys are at. When guys come in to get clubs or come to play golf, like some of those guys are just having a shit day, and it's like they're just there to escape. And so finding that 20, 30 seconds just to encourage those guys, or do whatever you can to make them feel like, they're on top of the world for a minute. But do it genuinely,
Right.
Hard one. Oh yeah, I drive a ball 350 carry.
Those guys are dealing with something different.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like,
delusions.
And I was just like,
Yeah.
yeah, when you come in, I'd love to see firsthand, first swing,
Yeah.
off rip. Let's see it.
Yeah. Good grief, dude. We always love playing with those guys.
Oh, that's great. Well, I love it because I work with TrackMan all day, so I can just be like, oh, 350. All right, let's
dial that in.
210.
100 rollout. Love that.
All right. Well, quick answers here. What's U.S. Opens this week? Who you got?
I always got to throw a lefty in there. I kind of want to see Phil do decent, but he's just getting there. I think, honestly, dude, Bryson might just fuck around and do it again.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was gonna say Bryson or Minwoo. Those are I got one kind of left field, and then I got one that's just been there before.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Oakmont's no joke.
Yeah.
I mean, they're saying this is the hardest course in the country. So it's I don't know. I think maybe even like a 200-300 might win.
Yeah, I think it's one of those. Like, I think there was one year at Oakmont where it was like if you were in the top 10, you could have been +8 that week, and then it's just like, oh, okay, so
Yeah,
this course just makes everybody look bad.
it's wild.
All they need.
What do you
to
think
is
you
just
guys would-
lower the lawnmowers? They just cut down like another inch. That's all they need.
Maybe 2
Yeah,
What do you guys think you'd shoot this week? Like if you were out there
from the
playing?
tips.
Yeah,
150. No,
that's
300.
I was gonna say because if I have a shot that I just missed the green on the rough, I might chunk that 5 times. So I'm like somewhere near 150 or 160.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would. It would just depend on how my 4-iron's doing because I don't
Right.
think I'd pull driver out of the bag at all.
Probably not. Same.
3-wood would be into a green.
Right.
I don't. High 100s.
Yeah.
First time playing it from the tips,
Right.
dude. I mean, I don't even know what the distance on that course is. Is it like 9?
I know
8
there's
something?
a 289 par 3. That's
Yeah,
all
no,
I know.
I'm
and
not
like,
reaching that.
I'm
That's-
pulling driver all day
Yeah.
long.
And
Count
still-
me in.
And it's a layup.
Right. Oh, dude. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, that course alone is just so hard. And just the fact that, like, when you hear guys say, oh, yeah, I'd go low, I'm like, all right. Sit down, brother.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to see it. Well, where can guys find you guys at besides Hagen Oaks?
That's
Hagen
awesome.
Oaks, live and in person at Hagen Oaks. On Instagram, YouTube, TikTok at Drain Bamage Golf. He's at wider_woods. Mine is at John Davies Golf.
I mean, once you hit the 2s, right? Like that 2 number, it's going to be Snack Nicholas, right?
Maybe.
I
We'll
like
see.
that.
We'll see.
I like that.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's like I have to see a 185 on the scale,
there you go.
and then I'm going.
I still like the John Davies. Though,
I'm gonna
dude.
keep it for a while. Yeah, but it's one of those at a certain point. Maybe it's like shortly after if Jack does die, kind of thing. Then I just try
in
to.
tribute.
I just like, all right, I'll carry his legacy on or something. I'll try to kind of thing.
In a wholly different way.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, because he was so much better.
Like what not to do.
Right.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys sitting down.
Yeah. Thanks for
Um,
having us, man.
Yeah, I
This is
love
awesome.
hearing your story. You guys can find our stuff playingthroughpod.com, playingthroughpod on Instagram, and then same as YouTube. And we'll collaborate this with you guys, and we'll shoot some more content.
Sweet.
Nobody brought up, by the way, my almost hole-in-one.
Oh, well,
dude,
that was. I mean, I still.
I figured you guys were going to talk some smack about that.
Well, here and there, I'll just go back and watch that, and I'm like, "Geez, how'd that not fall?"
Yeah, I mean, like, you had more opportunities for a hole-in-one than I have. So, I mean, yeah, I've come close a couple times, but like 15 feet is close for me. Yours was like inches.
Yeah, I was gonna say I couldn't talk a whole lot of smack because I was like, I wasn't even on the green that
Yeah,
day. I'm
I-
like,
That is
Yeah,
it
same.
was that course was tough. Although you drained a 30-40 foot putt.
oh yeah, that was.
Old chocolate, dude. I'll pull that thing out from anywhere. I'll
Oh
tell you
yeah,
what.
shout out Lab Golf too, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. You guys got the lab stuff, dude. Like it's cool to see your sponsor stuff. Like I think it's cool. I think what you guys are doing is great, and I hope more guys jump on your stuff as far as sponsor wise. And just keep rocking and rolling and just keep changing the game.
Hopefully, that's
Cool.
our goal. We want to be industry disruptors of some kind. So whether that
Or
be
just different, quote unquote.
I don't know. Disrupt. I've been in the game enough now.
Playing through the storm and
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
You'll make me